Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Spider Force, issue number 2 of 3. So, what do we have here? We got the people in charge of this comic book. Spider Force is created by Priest on writing, on pencils. Here we go, a whole bunch of them. Paulo Siqueira. Sorry, I'm trucking through this. Marcelo Ferreira and Simon Kudransky. Oren Jr. and Roberto Poggi and Simon Kudransky again are on inks. The colorist is Guru FX. Letterer, VC's Joe Sabino, and a whole bunch of people on cover art. And Stanley and Steve Ditko created Spider-Man for all of us. You're welcome. I'm welcome. We are welcome. Okay, so very, very confusing comic book. Now, they say that you're supposed to read this before this. It doesn't matter, because the thing that actually happens in here, it's interesting. I'm sure you guys went and looked at this review already, but we see that Jessica Drew gets the crystal in question, and then she goes on and she gets captured by the Inheritors. But we don't see any of that come to fruition in this comic book. Instead, we get a few other things. So she does have her radiation inside of her body. Apparently, that means she's got the radiation immunity also. That must go part and parcel now. She did get her powers through radiation. That's important. But they, when the Inheritors are trying to eat her, what do you call it? They're like, oh my God, she tastes like radiation. What's going on? So like, that's a really weird one. It's like, wow. But again, other one. In this one, dude, this is beautiful. We get this thing in space going on, and I guess this is Peter's wife in this, or is it Jameson's wife? Dude, I can't tell. This is a different Earth, and I can't tell what's going on. It's very hard to understand exactly what's going on. First off, she's walking, she comes across this, and yeah, not looking good. They're on a space station. Basically, it's Earth in the far-flung future. And there were some wars. They called the wars. They called it, no, it wasn't called a war. It was a stupid. They did a stupid. So there are no more conservatives, no more liberals. This is Priest talking. I like what I'm hearing. No more of the nonsense and whatnot. Let's just try and actually freaking act human. All of us act human. Don't hate each other because of whatever. Please. Okay. So, what have you here? This guy's called Spider-Naut or something to that effect. Listen, very confusing book, okay? Very confusing book. Spider-Naut, yep. From Earth 3145. And here's the image. And he's freaking awesome, man. He is awesome. So I believe this is J. Jonah Jameson's son. He's not Man-Wolf in this. He's something else entirely. These guys are trying to go after him, but I don't think they understand what EVA suits actually are. I believe that it's not an acronym, initialization. Initialization. I believe that actually stands for extravehicular activity suit. So EVA suit. Either way, it's a spacewalking suit. Anyway, so yeah, they try and take him down. They actually do a pretty good job. They burn the side of his suit. So he's like, you just breached my suit, damn it. It's like, well, you could seal it, or you can take time with me. And they actually give his origin, which is really cool. It goes off into space. Oh, is that a spider on his cheek? Is that what it is? So anyway, very cool. I totally dig that origin. But the thing, he's psychic, and I think he's just psychic because he's got the crystal down here, this crystal that I guess this crystal is actually supposed to be used to contact the Enigma Force. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. Like, this is a very confusing book, dude. Such a confusing book. Anyway, I think that's what's actually giving him telepathic abilities, because he's got his spider abilities, but he's also got a pretty cool telepathy. And he doesn't want to give too much of the telepathy, like, contact with telepathy, because then he could be attacked back telepathically. And it's like, but these guys don't have telepathic powers. Or is that how you're using your spider sense? Because technically, you can use your spider force to do amazing things. I won't quit my day job. So, what do you call it? Anyway, they don't know how to trust each other. Like, nobody trusts each other. This is probably the worst team ever. But with this psychic link being opened, they're all kind of able to peer into his mind and each other's minds also. So at this point, the two youngest spider characters, they have conversations, and I don't understand what's happening. You know how I would be able to understand it? If I could see the characters. The problem is, see, in scenes like this, we're good, all right? We can see what's going on for the most part. Not so easy to tell who this one is right away. Oh, no, okay, here I can. Yeah, okay, that's easy. But, what do you call it? When everybody's in a radiation suit or a whatever suit for most of this. Yeah, like look in here. Everybody's in a radiation suit here. Who are these two characters? Who are these two characters? I actually know who the two characters are, but sometimes you can't tell which is which. Sometimes you can't tell which is which in a panel. So you know what that means? You don't know which one is saying what. You can't tell. I had to read this twice over, and I went to read it the third time, and I finally said, if I got to read the damn thing 3 times, I don't care anymore. I suddenly completely lost interest. So that entire part of the conversation, 100% over my head, lost on me. I just don't have the desire. I'm simply not that interested. It wasn't that interesting for me to have to keep on rereading and rereading and rereading the same damn page because I can't tell who's who because they're in identical suits. That was just unacceptable. I get it. They're in radiation suits, but they're in radiation suits in the middle of space. How exactly does that really help? All right, they're not sealed the same way. It's not going to help. It's just, sorry, look it up. So anyway, no, man, I was not pleased with these. I simply was not pleased with this. It was very confusing because a lot of the things that happened, you couldn't see that's how we recognize the heroes, is by their uniforms. Can you imagine if you had Captain America and Clint Barton and Wendell Vaughn and a whole bunch of different characters that all have the blonde hair, blue eyes, all right, sitting at a table in their civilian clothes having a conversation with each other. And they don't mention, well, listen, Clint, such and such and such. Listen, Steve, so-and-so. Hey, Rogers, you know what I was thinking? Like, you won't know who's talking to who unless they actually say their names. And here, they are not saying their names. Even if they did, we don't know who most of these characters are. 2, you can't see their freaking faces or their costumes. You have no idea who these people are sometimes in several panels. So you have no idea who's saying what. And it's very hard to follow the conversation and try and say, okay, so that means this guy must have been saying this. But then you get to another part, and it's already Christopher Priest, and he likes to write in a way that you got to think about things. I'm cool with thinking about things, but not guessing things. That I'm just not interested in doing. Not when this is not meant to be a guessing game. This just didn't work for me. It simply did not work for me. This is a case of the artist and the artists and the writer simply not having a good meshing. This is not either person's fault. Priest writes like a freaking maniac, and the artist was more interested in getting artsy and had to follow the directions, in the script for that Priest gave him, and just wasn't able to convey who was who by the images that we were looking at. The art's beautiful, but if you can't tell who's talking, it's lost on me. They're just a bunch of pretty pictures, and they are pretty. Anyway, all that being said, it wasn't a bad book. Just understand there are going to be some parts in here that you're not going to get. It's just done. Done and done. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.